Instruction. Actually, this book is written by the author Rupa Goswami, and Rupa Goswami is one of the prominent disciples of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, uh, Rupa Goswami has written various kind of literatures, various kind of books, but among these, this Upadeshamrit and Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, these two books are in their own way is they are masterpiece and they are very important for our devotional practice. So, especially this book of Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu and Upadeshamrita, Rupa Goswami, he wrote these books after studying various scriptures for 17 years. For 17 years, he studied various scriptures and he jotted down the points how a conditioned living entity can practice pure devotional service. So that elaborately he wrote in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and then in this Upadeshamrita is a kind of, you can say it is a kind of tool how we can practice the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu or the nectar of devotion in our day-to-day life. So Srila Prabhupada in the preface of this book, he writes one important sentence that advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. So in what attitude one is practicing, that attitude one's advancement will happen. So today we will be reading the third verse of this book. But before telling the third verse, I will in gist say about the whole book and what the 11 verses they describe. And then we'll start with the third verse and mostly we'll cover up half of the purport of the third and the next we'll be doing in the next session. So we see that this Bhakti Rasam Sindhu, there are 11 verses. So we can see these 11 verses in one way. They are like a ladder which is helping us to climb and reach to the ultimate perfection of devotional service. So these verses from one, the first preface, Srila Prabhupada speaks about the goal of Krishna consciousness, and that means the attitude of how we can attain the goal of Krishna consciousness. So that he described in the preface, the description. So from text 1 to text 6 describes about Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, means sadhana bhakti following in the rules and regulations strictly, how we can advance in our spirituality. That is in this first 6 verse it is explained. Then the next, so the first verse tells about controlling the 6 urges. Second verse tells about the obstacles which comes in the path of devotional service. The third verse speaks about the principles that aid or that helps our devotional service to grow. Then the fourth verse speaks about the 6 loving exchanges that enhances our devotional service. Verse 5 speaks about the association according to levels of advancement, according to what the level one is has attained, how we should associate with them. Verse 6 describes about the association with the pure devotees, in what consciousness and what precautions we should associate with the pure devotee. That is explained in verse 6. Text 7 tells about the chanting of the holy name, and text 8 speaks about the spontaneous devotional service in practice. So previously, in the initial verses, one is practicing the rules and regulations very strictly. Like, like suppose we are learning one musical instrument. Suppose I am learning harmonium. So initially I don't know anything. So I am learning step by step which key, which sur to sing, which is sa, which is re, which is ga. I am learning. But after a few time, when I have accustomed with it, so now along with my learning, I have practiced. So it is coming more natural. So that is the text 8 says about spontaneous devotion service while in practice. So then the text 9, 10 and 11, so sorry, the text 7 and 8, they say about Ragunaga Bhakti in sadhana, like in the practice. And then 9, 10, 11, the 9, 10 they both say about the Bhava Bhakti, and 11 text tells about the Prema Bhakti. So text 8 says about spontaneous devotional service in practice. Text 9 says about the hierarchy of the material and spiritual world. And text 10 tells about the hierarchy of different types of human beings who are practicing devotional service. And text 11, the ultimate culmination of devotional service is the glories of Radha Kund that is described in text 11. So, um, already we have covered up these two texts, the text number 1 and 2, where text 1 speaks about how to control the various urges, the urge of the mind, the senses, anger, hunger, all those things are discussed. And then in text 2, we have already discussed that what are the things which are unfavorable for our spiritual life, which the things should be avoided, which things are obstacles in the devotion. So today, in this text 3, we will be discussing which are the things which are favorable for our devotional service in our advancement. So I will recite the verse. If you all have the text with you, or you can see, or you can just hear with
Roji, if you want, I can screen share the book, PDF copy of the book. Will it be?
yeah, that will be nice. Devotees can they can get benefit of.
Yes. Venu Bihari Prabhuji, can you give me the right for screen sharing? Just a minute.
So this Upadeshamrita book is one of the very important book. Actually, if you read this book regularly, it is this Upadeshamrita is the synopsis and the gist of whole practice of Krishna consciousness. So whatever the things are described in Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavad Gita, all the messages are in short, in gist, given in this book. So I'm starting reciting the verse and then.
Yes, Prabhuji, it is there. It
Okay.
is in the screen. You can see also, no?
Yeah, I thought devotees can see the screen, so the verse is
Yes.
there.
Devotees should able to see the screen.
I am reading and you all can recite with me. Utsaha nishchaya dhairya tat tat karma pravartanat sanga tyagat sato vritte sadbhir bhakti prasidyati. So the word to word meaning goes like this. Utsaha means by enthusiasm, nishchayat by confidence, dhairyat by patience, tat tat karma, various activities favorable for devotion service, pravartanat by performing, sanga tyagat by giving up the association of non-devotees, sata of the great previous acharyas, vritte by following in the footsteps, sadbhi by these six, bhakti, devotion service, prasiddhyati advances or becomes successful. So the translation will be reading. There are six principles favorable to the execution of pure devotional service: being enthusiastic, uh, endeavoring with confidence. Third is being patient. Four, acting according to regulative principles such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, uh, hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna. I think you need to scroll. Others are able to see.
Ah.
So, and then five, advancing, abandoning the association of non-devotees. Six, following in the footsteps of previous acharyas. These six principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of pure devotion service. So here in GIS we can understand how we can completely make our spiritual practice successful. So these six things. First is being enthusiastic. So whatever it may come, either chanting of the holy name or reading of scriptures or hearing lectures or going to temple or rendering any kind of service, unless there is enthusiasm, things becomes monotonous. There is no uh, eagerness in the heart of performing those activities. So one should be very much enthusiastic. Oh, today I have got a wonderful opportunity to do something for Krishna. Or today I will hear something about Krishna. Today I will chant the holy name of the Lord. What a wonderful opportunity. Enthusiasm, that kind of mood should be there in the heart. Then endeavoring with confidence. So one thing, to achieve anything, one should give one's hard work. We should endeavor, but with our endeavor, we should have confidence not on us, confidence on the Lord. That I am trying. Like the Damodar Leela is going on now. There is the pastime of the rose getting two fingers short. The one finger is the endeavor of the devotee, and the second finger is the mercy of the Lord. So, from our side, we should be endeavoring, but in our heart, we should have deep confidence that the Lord is there who will take responsibility of doing his part. I will do my part. Third, one has to become patient. It is not just a one day thing. Just it is not that one day I will achieve the ultimate success. One day I will become a pure devotee. Just I will go back to the spiritual world just in one day. It's not going to happen like that. We are in a gradual process and advancement is happening gradually. So we have to keep patient. Like things are happening. Many times we may think that daily we are chanting, daily we are doing the same thing. What is happening? We may not see any change, but change is happening internally, surely, but we have to be patient. It's happening gradually. We have to stick to the process. We should not be impatient to try something else. Fourth is acting according to regulatory principles. So we should not act whimsically. Whatever comes to my mind, I will try experimenting on those things and see how I will get success. That will not help. So we have to follow what is prescribed by us. The regulatory principle means Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. These various limbs of devotional service which are given. That we have to hear about Krishna. We have to chant the holy name of Krishna. We have to remember the pastimes, the instruction of Krishna. Whatever is told by the Lord in the scriptures, that we will follow. We will not do according to our own whimsical thought. That's why it is said that Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatrika Vidhim Vina Aikantika Harir Bhakti Utpatayava Kalpate. So even if devotional service, if we are doing not following the lessons and instructions given by the Acharya, if we do according to our own thought, without the confirmation and consultation with devotees, then we may land up in whimsical understanding. And then we may be in our own world, in our own, we may invent new ideas, and which will become a kind of utpat, a kind of disturbance in devotional service. So that we should not do. Abandoning the association of non-devotees. This is a very important thing. What does it mean? Abandoning the association of non-devotees means, so now in our day-to-day life, we may not avoid dealing with non-devotees. In our office, there will be many people who are non-devotees. In our families, there might be many people who are non-devotees. In our friend circle, there might be many people who are non-devotees, with whom we cannot stop meeting or being with them. But it is said that abandoning their association means that we should not be influenced by them. We should not take their association, rather, we should give them our association. So that's why it is not that we have to. So, best thing is we can share them our experiences in Krishna consciousness. It's not like that every time we just open a book and just tell them, okay, I have read this, we should do that. Maybe that person, you have to understand what is the level of that person. A person, he might, someone may appreciate philosophy, someone may not appreciate philosophy, someone may appreciate kirtan, some may appreciate prasadam, some may appreciate beautiful pictures of the deities, Some may appreciate wonderful stories of scriptures. Some may appreciate wonderful behavior. So whatever thing that person may appreciate, those association which we cannot avoid, those things which we can avoid, we should avoid. That is unwanted association. But those association which we cannot avoid, we should know how to deal with those association. So we will not take their association, we'll give them our association with our Krishna consciousness. By sharing which that person may relate to, they can appreciate. We can share some feelings which we like, or some stories, or we can give them prasad, or we can behave them with nicely and do the needful. This thing. In this way, we can abandon the unwanted association. Sixth is following in the footsteps of previous acharya. So we should not invent our new ideas or new ways that how we will practice spirituality. We will follow which is being followed by previous acharyas. Like for material education also, when we go to school, we follow whatever is in the syllabus and in the subject matter. We master that by learning that thing and applying in our life. We don't invent our new thing. It is not that when we are learning A, B, C, then we invent no why B should come after A. It may B may come after A, or we don't go in those kind of things with our own thought. We follow what is told. If we just follow, what happens? We learn and we advance. So these things, if we follow very sincerely, there is no doubt that one will become completely successful in pure devotion service. So now we'll see that how Srila Prabhupada in the purport, he describes about this thing in detail. So, so we go in the purport. The purport, I will read para by para small, so you can see also on the screen, and then we'll discuss about that. So devotional service is not a matter of sentimental speculation or imaginative ecstasy. Its substance is practical activity. Srila Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu has defined devotional service as Anya Abhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam Bhaktir Uttama. Uttama Bhakti or unalloyed devotion unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna involves the rendering of devotional service in a way that is favorable to the Lord. This devotional service should be free from any extraneous motive and devoid of fruitive karma, impersonal jnana, and all other selfish desire. So here what Srila Prabhupada is explaining that this is not a sentiment, it is an imagination. Like one is practicing, it is a practical activity, means active devotional service. What is sentiment? Example, suppose a husband and wife, they got married. They were having love, it was love marriage. They were having relationship, loving affair, and they got married. So after they got married, the first day when the husband is going to the office after the marriage, so he has taken already many days leave. Many of you who are married, they already know a marriage, many things goes on, many arrangements. So after taking so many days of leave, when he is going to the office, there is lot of workload. So when he has gone to the office, when he's coming back, so he's expecting, because he is working hard in the office. When he comes back, because he has taken the leave, he is working so much hard for the family, for both the husband and wife. So he should feel that a wife will also take some responsibility in reciprocating. So when he comes back, he feels that the wife has also done something. There might be some preparation of some foodstuffs where they both will share their heart, how the day the husband spent in the office, how the day the wife spent, what are the nice things the wife has prepared. So that is a kind of reciprocation from the wife for the husband. But when the husband comes back and he asks the wife, have you prepared anything? And the wife is telling that whole day, I was just remembering you, what you are doing, what you are thinking. And I was just remembering you and I have not cooked anything. I was deeply absorbed in you. So what he will say, this is called sentimental speculation or imaginative ecstasy. There is ecstasy, there is emotion, there is sentiment, but it is in thought only. But at the end of the day, you need food, you need something practical to eat so that you can have some real emotion in the field. So if that is lacking, then devotional service will not have proper meaning. That's why it is said that devotional service is what is Uttama Bhakti. What this is the definition of pure devotional service. Anya Abhilashita Shunya means it is called Anya, it is not called Abhilashita Shunya. Abhilasha means desire. Abhilashita means various kind of desires. So here it is said desire should be shunyam. There should be no desire. But there is one anya. So what is the meaning of anya abhilashita shunyam? Every desire other than that desire should be zero. That is the meaning. So what is that other desire? Any other desire than pleasing Krishna, than serving Krishna should be zero. So there should not be any mental speculation. It should be free. It should be so. It doesn't mean that there will be no knowledge. Jnana karmadi anabritam. It is see you should understand this verse. Yes, Prabhu, you can scroll. Then they can see the translation. See here it is said what is uttama bhakti. Other desire should be zero, but jnana and karma. It is not said that they should not be zero. They should be anabrita means they should not cover pure devotional service, because in our day-to-day life we need knowledge. Even we are hearing class right now, we are reading and we are hearing, so we are acquiring knowledge and we are doing some work. We are eating, we are walking, we are sleeping, we are going to job, so we cannot stop working. So work and knowledge both will be there, but that should not cover up bhakti. That should bhakti should be independent of that. That means we'll do our work, we will acquire knowledge on various things, but that should not disturb or distract me for on my path of practicing spiritual sadhana bhakti. That should be intact. So there should be no selfish desire. That means how I will. So now we are always, it is the human nature that always whatever we are doing, we are always thinking how I will become happy. What is there for me? That is the conditioned nature of everything. So how to not desire anything selfish? That means the selfish desire should be gradually becoming zero. Now it is not zero. Maybe before coming to Krishna consciousness, it was 100. Now gradually we are trying to reduce it. Now maybe it has become 95 or 90 or 80, whatever degree. It has to become zero. So it may seem it's impractical. How can I be completely selfless and have no other desire, and only I should have desire for Krishna? How is it practical? It may sound nice, nice to hear, but how to practice it? So the practicing is that we will have to connect everything with Krishna. We will, whatever we do, whatever we see, whatever we think, we will gradually try to incorporate those things with Krishna. So how is it? I am giving an example so that we can learn how to practice. Suppose now I am going to a company or I am renting, doing my business. So the company I am working, I am getting paid, the company is giving me salary, or I am doing business. That business, I am getting some money out of it. So how to connect it with Krishna? So when we see principle in the scripture, Krishna says, Bhoktaram yaggatapasham sarva loka maheshwaram shuridang sarva bhutanam gyatmamam shantim richat. So Krishna is telling, I am the proprietor of all the three planetary systems. So Krishna is the proprietor and owner of everything. Then to whom this universe belongs to? Krishna. To whom this world belongs to whom India belongs to whom my company belongs to whom my family belongs to whom my wife belongs to whom my children belongs to. Everything belongs to Krishna. So it is not that I have to give up all these things. I will be using this thing, but knowing this, that this belongs to Krishna and Krishna has facilitated me to use this thing. So I will use this thing rightly in Krishna's service, in his connection, because it belongs to him. So the house is not my house, it's Krishna's house. I am taking care of the house. That consciousness gradually we have to build so that I will do the same activity. It is not that a non-devotee is eating food and a devotee is not eating food. Devotee is also eating food, but devotee is eating prasad. So what is the difference? Same food, a non-devotee is eating, a devotee is eating. Of course, devotee is eating vegetarian food, but that food devotee is offering to Krishna. What is the meaning? He's seeing the connection. This belongs to you. Oh Lord, please accept it. And then I am taking that. Now the Lord has accepted. I am taking his remnant. In this way, we can dovetail our gyan, our karma in devotional service so that it will be not covered up. The next para it is said that bhakti is a sort of cultivation. As soon as we say cultivation, we must refer to activity. Cultivation of spirituality does not mean sitting down idly for meditation, as a pseudo yogi teach. Such idle meditation may be good for those who have no information of devotional service, and for this reason, it is sometimes recommended as a way to check distracting materialistic activities. Meditation means stopping all nonsensical activities, at least for the time being. So here, a devotional service, however, not only puts an end to all nonsensical mundane activities, but also engages one in meaningful devotional activities. So here it is said devotion, bhakti means cultivation. Cultivation means regular investment, conscious effort. It is not just doing the thing for sake of doing. Suppose we are chanting. Chanting is also not just idle sitting and passing time with murmuring something. It's a conscious, practical, enthusiastic activity to revive our relationship with Krishna. So in short, in this paragraph, what Srila Prabhupada and what Rupa Goswami is wanting to tell us, that devotional service means avoiding those things which are distracting us, those material activities. So see, the acharyas, they say very meaningful thing. The Lord, they are not telling give up material activities completely. That means don't go to job, don't earn money, don't wash clothes, don't raise children. Those things are not told here, because those things are necessary things. It is said that only check distracting material activities, and meditation means stopping nonsensical activities. So those things which are not necessary in our day-to-day life, those things we should stop. That what is meditation is meant. That we should practice. So that's in the next verse it is said, Prahlad Maharaj recommends Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atma Nivedam. So these are the 9 devotional processes by which one can perfect one's life. So here we see that first thing is called Shravanam, hearing the name and glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we see Parikshit Maharaj perfected his life in engaging in hearing the pastime of the Lord. So when we, with rapt attention, hear attentively either the holy name of the Lord, or when we read sincerely, or we hear lecture, that time we are doing Shravanam. We are hearing the message, the transcendental sound vibration with which we are making spiritual advance. When we are reciting slokas, when we are chanting some mantras, chanting the holy name, telling the pastime of the Lord to someone, we are chanting the glories of the Lord. By that, we are making spiritual advance. So when we chant, when we hear, in chanting also, when we are chanting the holy name, many times one is focusing what one is telling, but many times one is not focusing what one is hearing. So simultaneously, we should speak, or when we are reading also, we are telling, we should be also what is coming in my ear. We should be very attentive to that. So when we will be hearing attentively, what we are speaking or what someone is speaking, then what will happen in due course of time, where what I have heard, I will try to recollect what I have heard. That is remembering, smaranam. That is, like Prahlad Maharaj, he was remembering the Lord, meditating on the Lord, meditating on the instruction. For us, when we remember the slokas, we remember the various nice points in Srila Prabhupada's books. By remembering that, we are remembering the Lord. Then the fourth is serving the lotus feet of the Lord. Especially this in this practical day-to-day life, one when one is doing deity worship, in that time one can massage the feet of the Lord. Also, it is said that when somebody is walking in the holy dham, or when we are doing parikrama, we are doing parikrama of the deities of Tulsi Maharani, or going to dham. When we are walking, engaging our feet in walking in holy places, that time also we are serving the lotus feet. And we need to scroll down. The fifth is worshipping the deity. When we are doing deity worship, either in our house we may have deities, or at least we should have picture of the Lord. I hope that every one of you in your home, you should have the picture of Radha Govinda, Jagannath Baladev, Subhadravani, Srila Prabhupada, so that just simple, at least sometime in the morning after taking bath, we can offer a little bit of incense, we can little bit offer up little bit tulsi, little bit water to the picture of the Lord. That is also as good as deity worship. So by worshipping the deities, one perfects one's life. The sixth one is offering obeisances. When we offer pranam to the Lord, by offering obeisances, that is also devotional service. Raghunath Das Goswami, he used to offer daily 1,000 times Dandavat Pranam to devotees and 1,000 times Dandavat Pranam to the deities. So by offering obeisances, pranam is also a devotional service. Seventh is acting as a Lord's servant, considering ourselves that we are very menial servant of the Lord, and I should execute whatever makes the Lord happy. Eight is making friends with the Lord. Like these are various devotees who are have developed relationship that Lord is my ultimate friend. Lord is the only person with who shares your secret. There are many secrets in our life which may I know, and someone may know with whom I have shared. Maybe our husband or wife, parents or friend or someone, but maybe even something which I have not shared to anyone. There is only one person, even with whom you share your secret, still it remains the secret. Because he is such a friend. He is not a Kali Yuga friends. Today you share your heart with a friend, and the next day it is in Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, all over the news that this is the secret. He's not that kind of friend. He's a real friend. You have observed in your life something you want to tell to the Lord. Even if you pray to the Lord, you tell him, or even if you don't tell, the secret is in your heart, he shares your secret and still it remains a secret. That's why Lord is our most dear friend. So making friendship with the Lord. And the nine, surrendering oneself fully to the Lord. So fully, with whatever capacity we have, we surrender to the Lord. Ambrish Maharaj, he was one of the great kings who utilized all of the things in the service of the Lord. So that's why we saw. So here, next we see in the paragraph, Shravanam or hearing is the first step of acquiring transcendental knowledge. One should not give oral reception to unauthorized persons, but should approach the proper person as recommended in Bhagavad Gita. Tad vriddhi panipatena paripashtana sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshina. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. So in this para it is said that one should hear. It's very important to hear, but more important than hearing is from whom I am hearing. So today in the age of Kali, because of this smartphone and internet, there are so many places where one can hear. So many kathas are going on, so many kathakas are there. But why there is not so much transformation in the life of people? Because people are not practicing what they are hearing. Why? Because the person who is telling, he is not practicing in his own life. That's why a person is telling you should not take intoxication, but he himself is addicted to intoxication. Then he is not detached. How will we will be detached by hearing from them? So that's why we should hear from a bona fide parampara. That's why there are four bona fide paramparas. One coming from Sri Sampradaya, one coming from Lord Shiva, one coming from Lord Brahma, and one coming from Chatur Kumar. This Gauriya Vaishnav Sampradaya, under which ISKCON is a branch, it is coming from Brahma. The same branch after Brahmaji, in that lineage again Madhavacharya came. That's why it is called Brahma Madhya Gauriya Sampradaya. Then again Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in their Sampradaya. And again, after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that's why you see in Bhagavad Gita that when this shloka is there, evam parampara praptam imam rajarsayo vidu sakala neha mahata yoga nashta parantapa. The lineage, how this knowledge without adulteration and deviation is coming down in the parampara system, in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, that parampara is given, how this knowledge is coming down. So that's why we should hear from a bona fide parampara and person. What is the mood? The mood should be submissive inquiry and enthusiastic service. We should not be in a challenging mood. In a challenging mood, no one can acquire knowledge. So we should approach in a submissive mood to know. And when we are knowing, the mood should be what I am hearing, I should try to apply in life. Knowledge turns into realization when there is application. So applied knowledge is called self-realization. So to the degree we have applied the knowledge, to that degree we have become self-realized. So when we are approaching a self-realized person who has applied the knowledge in his own life, from him we can inquire submissively and we can render service to them. We should ask them, how can I serve you? Like Srila Prabhupada, he asked his spiritual master, how can I serve you? And whatever spiritual master gave instruction, Srila Prabhupada tried to execute those instructions. And that's why he became empowered and he got realized in the knowledge. And that's why Srila Prabhupada, when he's giving his purport, he's telling, these Bhaktivedanta purports are my devotional ecstasies. These are his realizations of practicing spirituality. So he said in the further, it is further recommended in the Mukunda Upanishad, Tad Vijnanartham Saguru Meva Vigacche. To understand the transcendental science, one must approach a bona fide spiritual master. Thus, this method of submissively receiving transcendental confidential knowledge is not merely based on mental speculation. In this regard, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Rupa Goswami, Brahmande Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. In the course of traversing the universal creation of Brahma, some fortunate soul may receive the seed of Bhakti Lata, the creeper of devotional service. This is all by the grace of Guru and Krishna. So we see that what happens when we come in the association of devotees, the devotees implant the seed of bhakti in our heart. The devotee gives this seed. So now what is our job? Our job is to grow the plant by sincerely watering the seed and protecting the plant so that other animals should not eat that plant. Other weeds should not grow along with the plant. So we are very careful to uproot the unwanted weed and watering the plant. So what is watering the plant? Is Shravan Kirtan Jal. And bhakti is called lata. Lata means a creeper needs a support to grow. That's why our bhakti lata needs the support of association of devotees. These various things, chanting of the holy name, deity worship, going to temple, reading scriptures, hearing from devotees, these are various helplines, various supports for the bhakti lata to grow upward. And this bhakti lata reaches to the spiritual world through the lotus feet of Krishna. But what is needed? Constant watering the seed, the plant. That is constantly hearing. So that's why Just it is not by chance that we have came in contact with some devotees and we are discussing about spirituality and practicing in our life. It is after millions of lifetime, a living entity from the body of amoeba, bacteria, to mosquito, to lizard, crossing so many bodies, species of life comes to the human form. And in this human form also, the living entity is traveling from one universe to another universe to another universe. Brahmande Brahmite, after traveling millions of universes for trillions of lifetimes, a fortunate living entity comes in contact with pure devotee. And that is the reason, what is the glory of Srila Prabhupada. He has manufactured an institution where this message, it is very difficult and rare to get the association of a pure devotee. Where you will get pure devotee? Where you will search pure devotee? Where I will get the seed of devotion service for them? That's why Srila Prabhupada's contribution is he has created a society of devotees. He has given us the guidelines in his books so that from that we can get benefit and we can develop our Krishna consciousness. That's why it is said that the material world is a place of confinement for the living entity who are by nature anandamaya, pleasure seeking. They always want to be free from confinement of this world of conditional happiness. But not knowing the process of liberation, they are bound to transmigrate from one species of life to another and from one planet to another. In this way, the living entity are wandering throughout the material universe. When by good fortune one comes in contact with a pure devotee and hears from him patiently, one begins to follow the path of devotional service. Such an opportunity is offered to a person who is sincere. So we have got this opportunity, but only sincere people are given this opportunity. There are millions of living entities, all are children of God, but everyone is not given this opportunity to practice spirituality. Why? Because they are not sincere to practice. Temple is open, movie theaters are open, shopping malls are open, liquor bars are open, but where one will go, that is one's free will. So Krishna is telling, I am impartial. Samaham sarva bhuteshu name dveshu astina priya. Ye bhajanti tu mam bhakta maiketeshu chapyaham. I am not partial to anyone, but I favor those who ask for favor. That is what I do. If you want my help, I will help you. If you don't my help, I don't want to bother you because you don't want me to interfere in your life. So that is the thing a living entity is transmigrating from one planet to another. But this is to a sincere seeker. This Bhakti Lata Beej, this seed is awarded. That's why you say the International Society for Krishna Consciousness is giving such a chance to humanity at large. If by fortune one takes advantage of this opportunity to engage in devotional service, the path of liberation immediately opens. So immediately the path for liberation will be ready for us. So then we can see in the next paragraph, it is described that one should accept this opportunity to return back home, back to Godhead very enthusiastically. That I was telling in the initial uh, beginning of our talk, that one should be very enthusiastic. Without enthusiasm, one cannot be successful. Even in material world, one has to be very enthusiastic in his particular field of activity in order to become successful. A student, a businessman, artist, or anyone else who wants success in his line must be enthusiastic. Similarly, one has to be very enthusiastic in devotional service. Enthusiasm. So, what is the meaning of enthusiasm? Prabhupada is telling enthusiasm means action. But action for whom? The answer is that one should always act for Krishna. Krishna Artha Akhila Chesta. See what a one word perfection. If we just learn this word and always meditate, what I have to do in life? Krishna Artha Akhila Chesta means I have to try for making Krishna happy. That's my job. So for that, okay, I am a husband, I will become a wonderful husband for giving pleasure to Krishna. I am a wife, I will serve my husband nicely for giving pleasure to Krishna. I am a office goer, I am a businessman, I will do my job nicely for giving pleasure to Krishna. I am a citizen, I will pay tax, I will be following the norms of the government. Why? For pleasing Krishna, because Krishna will become happy if I be loyal to Krishna. That is our mood. I am not seeing the government. I am not just seeing my relatives or in connection with my surrounding. I am seeing the ultimate connection with Krishna. That what we should try. In all phase of life, one has to perform devotional service under the direction of the spiritual master in order to attain perfection in bhakti yoga. Very, very important thing. There will not be any time where we will become independent and whatever I want I will do. Always we have to follow the instruction, the direction. So acting will be done according to the direction of the director. So we cannot act according to our whimsical mind. We will act what the director, what the spiritual master, previous acharyas have recommended for us to do. That is our script. According to that only we will follow. It is not that one has to confine or narrow one's activities. Krishna is all pervading. Therefore, nothing is independent of Krishna. As Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat abhyakta murtina masthani sarva bhutani na taham teshu avasthita. By me, in my unmanifested form, the entire universe is pervading. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master, one has to make everything favorable for Krishna's service. For example, at present we are using a dictaphone. For present we are using smartphone and Zoom. Additional to this, the materialist who invented this machine intended it for businessmen or writing mundane subject matter. Zoom was created for some mundane business meeting or something. We are utilizing it for discussing Krishna Katha. Of course, all the parts of the instrument, including the electronic functions, are made from different combinations and interactions of the 5 basic types of material energy, namely Bhumi, Jal, Agni, Vayu, and Akash. The inventor used his brain to make this complicated machine, and his brain, as well as the ingredients, were supplied by Krishna. According to the statement of Krishna, Masthani Sarva Bhutani, everything is depending on my energy. Thus, the devotee can understand that since nothing is independent of Krishna's energy, everything should be dovetailed in his service. So that what we have to learn is we have to dovetail things in Krishna's service. That is our work. Whatever we are doing, we will not have to stop our work, but we will dovetail our work for Krishna's service. So here it is said, endeavor executed with intelligence in Krishna consciousness is called utsaha or enthusiasm. So we should be enthusiastic, but not whimsical, not foolishly. Enthusiasm with intelligence means calculation. We should have a complete plan how to progress in Krishna consciousness. What is my situation? What is my financial situation? What is my social situation? What is my emotional situation? All the things I have to calculate, and in that way I should take every step what is beneficial for my spiritual advance. Oh, it is not that okay, I have to advance in devotion service, and so I take some whimsical step. Oh, going Vrindavan is very nice. If I go to Vrindavan, then I will advance in spiritual life. So I go to Vrindavan, but I have not taken sufficient money. I have not booked for the room over there. I have not confirmation ticket over there, and I have no contact over there. I don't know what I will do by going there. And I have heard that going to Vrindavan is good, so I am going to Vrindavan. It's not like that. Utlo by Kotok Jai. One has to be very intelligent and conscious. Enthusiasm means with consultation with devotees, with thinking before doing one thing. That one has to do. And that is why I say that the devotees find the correct means by which everything can be utilized in the service of Krishna. So that intelligence, nirbandha Krishna sambandhe yukta vairagya uchyate. So how things can be engaged in Krishna service, that is one's intelligence. The execution of devotional service is not a matter of idle meditation, but practical action in the foreground of spiritual life. So we have to do something practical. So devotional doesn't mean, many times we think devotional service means only chanting, hearing lecture, reading books, and throughout the day what we are doing is not devotional service. No, everything is devotional service when it is done in connection with Krishna. That maturity and intelligence and understanding we have to develop. I am going to office. For why I am going to office? To maintain the family of Krishna. That is devotional service. Why I am paying tax to the government? Because that is, as an ideal person, I should do. That is devotional service because I am honest. One of the principles, four regulatory principles, one of the thing is one has to, we don't do gambling. That means we are truthful. So when we are paying tax, when we are purchasing ticket properly, we are not traveling without ticket. Why I am doing these things? Because to establish the dharma of truthfulness. So that's why a devotee uses his intelligence and dovetails throughout his days every activity which comes in connection with Krishna. Which are favorable, he does those things. Which are unfavorable, unlawful things, those things he avoids. That is the thing one has to learn. These activities must be executed with patience. Everything cool-headedly we have to do, not just by whimsical. One should not be impatient in Krishna consciousness. Indeed, this Krishna consciousness movement started single-handedly, and in the beginning there was no response. But because we continue to execute our devotional activities with patience, people gradually began to understand the importance of this movement, and now they are eagerly participating. So, what is Prabhupada referring here? Prabhupada is referring his own life. When he went, he was alone. Nobody was there to help him. But Prabhupada was determined. He was enthusiastic. He was having confidence in the instruction of spiritual master. In the for in the forecast of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, পৃথিবীতে আছে যত নগরাদি গ্রাম সর্বত্র প্রচার হবে মোর নাম. He had faith in the holy name, but he was patient. It will not happen in one day. He got the instruction in 1922, but he went to the West in 1965. So many years he was not just sitting idle. He was trying day by day, month after month, year after year, and then gradually he took more and more bold step, but calculatively with patience. So that is very much important. But one should not be impatient in discharging devotional service, but should take instruction from the spiritual master and execute them with patience, depending on the mercy of Guru and Krishna. So that's why when we are doing devotional service, we should be very patient. Means I am chanting, but I am not seeing result. Oh, this chanting doesn't work. Oh, what? Why to waste time? I am reading scripture. I am going to temple. Nothing positive is happening in my life. Problems are happening. Coronavirus is there. Oh, I got COVID. Oh, some my relative got sick. What's the use of practicing devotional service? We should not be short-tempered, impatient. We should be having patience. It takes time. In this material world, there will be ups and downs. When we are in the ocean, there will be always waves, high tide, low tide. But we have to continue our journey, following the instructions of the spiritual one. The successful execution of Krishna conscious activities requires both patience and confidence. Only patience will not work. We have to have confidence on the Lord. Avashya Rokhibe Krishna. Krishna will surely help. So, like example is given, a newly married girl naturally expects offspring from her husband, but she cannot expect to have them immediately after marriage. Of course, as soon as she is married, she can attempt to get a child, but she must surrender to the husband, confident that her child will develop and be born in due time. Similarly, in devotional service, surrender means that one has to become confident. The devotee thinks avashya rakhibe Krishna. Krishna will surely protect me and give me help for the successful execution of devotional service. This is confident. So we have come up to the half of the discussion. According to my book, there were having 12 pages. 3 pages we have covered. The next half we will cover in the next session. So if any one of you have got any questions which we discussed till now, you can ask questions. So I will try to answer according to my understanding.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Prabhuji, while we are practicing the Krishna consciousness, I mean, maybe for some time, how do we understand that we are going in the right direction? What is the, symptoms, or how do we feel from inside that we are doing right and we are going in the right direction?
Yeah, very nice questions you have asked. So we'll understand by just a moment. We'll understand by checking with devotees that whether what I'm. So that's why what we have to do. We have to practice in our life by asking devotees that what I am doing, is it correct or not. So that is a very important thing. So that's why that's why the association of devotees provided, where what we do is that just a minute, I will take. You are able to hear. वो किसे लग रहा है? हेडफोन আছে তো ওখানে রাখো। You are able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Just a moment. So Krishna, you are able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but the clarity was better earlier.
Just a moment. A little bit off. Hare Krishna, now you can hear? Hare Krishna? Now you can hear me?
Yeah, we can. Yes, Prabhu. We can hear, but the clarity was much better on that before you using that one.
Okay, maybe we continue like actually I like to change the headphone because I was using Anand headphone and he has got another class now.
It is now good. It is now okay, Prabhu. It is now good.
So the question was, how we can understand whether we are progressing correctly or not. So that's why we need to consult with devotees. That's why we need some That's why we have got this counselor system or mentor system where we, whatever, that's why it, like in the next text also when it will come, it is very important to share our heart with devotees. That whether what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, is it correct or wrong? So that's the way we should always go in guidance. That's what I was explaining, that bhakti lata, it is called lata. Lata means always it needs support. It is the support of the guidance of devotees. In one paragraph also we discussed, that in all phase of our life we need to follow the direction of the spiritual master. So even in after many years, suppose the spiritual master, if he is not physically present, but still we should always be in the association of devotees from whom we are taking constant guidance in our devotion service. What I am doing, what I am thinking, what books I should read, what lectures from whom we are hearing. See, to the degree we take help, devotee will want to help. See, what is one of the challenge is coming in this modern day world, according to the modern education, is that if somebody is trying to help us, it may be taken as an interference, or why he is encroaching in my personal life. So the best thing is, if we want help from devotees, we should understand that we need help. We are not mature enough. The conditioned nature of a living entity is that we have confidence on our own self, that I know what I should do, and by doing that we land up in wrong things, we land up in wrong decisions. So that's why we should have some spiritual guide in our life from whom we should consult. That this is what I am thinking, this is my situation, what you think would be good for me. And then when I hear from them, we should have faith and confidence on their instruction, and that will help me. So that is one kind of guideline we can. I hope I have able to answer your question.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Anybody else has any other question? Maybe you can once again. I would request if you don't have book, or we can see maybe once again we can just scroll you the screen so that you can once go through, and then if you see have anything you have got to ask from there. Many times what happens, we don't ask and then later we don't think about it. So we can see, and then we can see that slowly we can, from starting to the para where we have ended today, can go through for 2 minutes, and if any place, anything you feel like asking.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have one question, that in the mention it is that the 9 process of devotional service. Now, in this 9 process of devotional service, we have to do all the 9 process, or which continuously do all the 9 process, or we can, which is the more very much important devotional service in the 9 process?
Yes, very nice question. See, actually, if possible, one should try to do as much as possible. But among them, the most important is chanting and hearing. That's why Mahaprabhu said, "Tar moddhe sarvashreshtha namo sankirtan." So chanting among these 9 devotional service, actually, if you see that these 9 are not very difficult, very simple thing. Like one is about hearing. So when we're hearing the lecture, we're hearing kirtan, we're hearing talk, then we are practicing one limb. When we are chanting the holy name, when we are doing book reading, so then we are also doing kirtanam. When we are sharing the message with someone else, we are sharing some good points. So today I have read a very nice thing in a spiritual book. We are sharing with some friends. In that way, we are doing kirtanam. And then again, what we heard, what we shared, if I am remembering some pastime of the Lord, I am remembering some instruction of the Lord. I am remembering some sloka. Like that, we can apply the remembering principle. Then serving the lotus feet of the Lord, serving deity worship. We are going to dham. We are going to yatra. That is then we have a if we have a small altar in our home, just we are offering incense, offering our bhoga to the Lord. Then that way we can do deity worship, and by doing pranam, we are offering obeisances, considering ourselves as a servant. So among these 9, most of the things, at least 5, 6 things are very small and things which in our day-to-day life we are able to practice only. If we see carefully, these things are very small things. And if one can consciously and practically able to practice all the 9, that is wonderful. And if one is not able to practice, that's also fine. If one wants to focus in 1 or 2 specifically and is doing only that dedicatedly, that is also fine. There's nothing so hard and fast way. But those things which are practical and helpful for us to practice, we should try to practice them. That is what is among these 9. Is it okay? Any other question? I think there is no more question. You all have come to the saturation of your brainstorming. Or maybe, it also happens, how long one can go on. So we are coming to the most concluding part. So if there is no question, we end here. 5:20.
Yes, if there is no question, we can end here also. No problem. I think devotees are very happy by your wonderful association and discourse. This is so crystal clearly you have explained the essential points. I think that is very wonderful. So hope everyone is happy. So thank you so much. I think next week is Deepavali. Okay. So next week we may not have the class. We will give the final announcement in the group. Hopefully there will not be class. So next week there will be the second session. Okay. And another thing that I will be uploading the previous classes also. The YouTube link you will get soon. Actually, last week I was a little tied up with some other commitment, so I was not able to upload the classes. So now I will upload it, and also the assignment will also be given for verse number 2, and verse number 3 will be given after the completion of the final session. Thank you so much for all your wonderful participation and giving your valuable time. And regarding the timing also, we will be discussing further in the group also. Some devotees are having some issues with the timing, so that we will try to resolve after some time. Please give us some time. So try to do that. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Rizudev Gopuruji, for your valuable
Krishna.
time. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Benaviyari Prabhuji. You can end the meeting from your end. Hare Krishna.